Hello. Today we're going to be doing some Vinyasa Flow, so practicing along with me. This is basically a class to just kind of get everything moving. There's nothing specific, but just to feel good, refreshed, and on your way. So we're going to start with a little warm up, come into some flow, and then warm down and end in Shavasana. Okay, so starting off, you're going to come onto your back and just find Supine Konasana. So as you come down, draw the soles of your feet together. Wriggle into here. Roll your shoulders back, palms facing up, and close down your eyes. And just find this comfortable, grounded position in your body. Starting to notice the rise and the fall of your breath. And if you've had quite a busy, chaotic time before getting to your mat, take a nice full inhale through the nose. And exhale, sigh it out your mouth. And you might like a few rounds of these just to get started and let any of that kind of light tension that's being held in the body release. Otherwise, starting to slow your breathing down. Begin to notice the rise and the fall of your belly. It's tempting to lengthen the inhalation with the exhalation, making your breath even. And setting the tone for your practice as we set this with the breath, the sense of letting go, openness and vulnerability that comes into the movement, into the yoga. Take 3 more full breaths here. Allowing your knees to drop out to the side, opening to the hips, the lower back, and your shoulders heavy and soft. Beautiful. Then after your third exhalation, wriggle into your fingers and toes. Start to open your eyes, draw your knees in towards you. Draw the knees in towards the chest, just taking a little rock from side to side. Maybe rolling out through your feet, a little movement through the ankles and the toes. Holding onto the hips, rolling them in different directions. In this moment to check into any tightness that you may be holding or areas that you're working with specifically today. And then allow your knees to drop out wide. Find your happy baby pose. So catch the inside, maybe the outside edge of your feet. And if that's not available, you can always catch hold of the ankles down here. Okay, but as you go hold, think about drawing your lower spine, your lower back to the floor as well. And then this feeling of your shoulders pulling back, so you're using the weight of your arms to draw your feet down, your knees down towards the floor. And then you're invited for any little movement here, so it can be quite nice to rock. You get the idea of why it's called Happy Baby. You may like to extend one leg out at a time. Give your hamstrings a little bit of love. And this whole initial phase is just to kind of settle into your body, to actually begin to turn the gaze in, to become aware of how you're feeling, what's going on. Beautiful. Then releasing your feet. Bring your hands in underneath your knees. Now your option, if you don't want to rock on your spine, is just to roll over to one side and come up to a seat. Otherwise, you can bring your hands underneath, catch a little bit of momentum, and start to find these little rolls, which are actually quite fun, and also they're quite massaging for your back body, your spine. So take a few, then end up in a seat. Now you can sweep your feet out beside you, or maybe cross your ankles and get this rolling forward. If that doesn't quite work in your body, sweep the feet out to the side, come over, and we'll meet in a tabletop position. And then to start with, just walk your tabletop towards the back of your mat. Spread your fingers nice and wide, and make sure your wrists are underneath the shoulders, knees under hips. Start to move through this cat-cow action. So your cow pose, you drop the belly, arch the spine, lengthen the collarbones, as if your shoulder blades are squeezing in. And then exhale, press the floor away, round and down. So chin can come in towards your chest. Press the floor away, start to find activation through the arms. Inhale, belly drops, arch, lift and lengthen your gaze. Exhale, curl and round. Inhale, belly drops, arch. Exhale and round. Inhale, find your neutral spine. Then here you're going to be at the back of your mat, so you can start to walk your hands forward. Keep your buttocks, your sit bones reaching tall, hips stacked over the knees. Reach your arms and then melt your chest down towards the floor. So we're coming into our melting heart. Maybe your forehead rests. And if you have a little more space here, you start to bring the chest, even the chin down to the ground. And then just finding 3 breaths in your melting heart or puppy pose. Slowly starting to lift yourselves back up. Walk your hands back in, start to walk your knees in. Come back into the center of your mat. Place your hands to the top, spread the fingers wide. Tuck your toes, lifting up, and we'll find downward facing dog. So your first down dog here, you're going to start to find a little movement, pedaling out through the feet. So you're sinking into opposite heels. You may even like this little micro bend through the elbows to begin to activate the upper body. And checking in with your hands that your index finger might face forward. It gives you a little more space in the shoulders. Pressing the chest back so you get that beautiful opening. And looking for the focus on lengthening your spine. So if your hamstrings are really tight or your back's tight, you can keep a bend in your knees here. Again, just a few breaths here to settle into your down dog, any extra movement. And then rising up onto your toes, lift the sit bones, engage the legs, gaze forward and ripple forward into a high plank position. Okay, pausing here nice and strong, push the floor away, little shift forward. And then as you exhale, send your hips high and come into downward facing dog once again. 3 more like this. Inhale, rise, ripple forward, high plank, press the floor away, squeezing into the center. Exhale, float it into downward dog. Again, inhale, ripple forward, press the floor away, hug the elbows in. Exhale, downward facing dog. Final one like this. Inhale, ripple forward. Exhale, drawing it back. Beautiful. This time, rise onto your toes and take little steps for this first one to come all the way up to the top of your mat. Pressing down through your feet, take a nice bend in the knees to start. Clasp opposite elbows and hang forward in your Uttanasana. And so this bend in the knees can be a really beautiful way to release out through the lower back, release into the hamstrings, and actually let the upper body let go a little more, including your head and your neck. So you can take little shakes. As you start to feel space, if you feel space on this first one, you might work towards straightening your legs and hanging forward. Then releasing your hands, come onto your fingertips, just toe heel the feet in towards each other. Micro bend the knees and curling all the way up to stand. So rounding through your spine, roll your shoulders back, lift your chest. Inhale, let the arms follow. Palms together, lift the gaze. Exhale, hands through heart center. And we take it into flow. Inhale, the sun salutation A. Exhale, bend the knees, fold. Hands to shins, halfway. Bend your knees, plant your hands, step back, high plank position. First one, shift yourself forward over the wrists. Knees to the floor, elbows in, lower all the way down. Release the toes. Inhale, lift for baby cobra. Maybe you hover the hands, start to feel that activity in the back body. And then plant your hands down, find the positioning, be mindful of where your back is, hug the elbows in, and lift the cobra pose. So you might not come all the way up to straight arms straight away, just modify for what you need as you move through the sequence. Then tucking the toes, sweep it up and back, downward facing dog. Any little movements in that down dog, keep your breath smooth. Rise on the toes, look forward. You can walk or maybe step this time, top of your mat. Exhale, folding over your legs. Inhale to rise, ground through the feet, curling up. This nice, smooth, slow, mindful movement. Lift the chest, hands through heart center. So your body's really enjoying the flow. Inhale, rise. Exhale, bend the knees and fold. Hands to your shins, halfway lift. Bending the knees, plant your hands, step yourself back, high plank position. So again, you can modify your vinyasa and go down as we did in our first round. Or if you're feeling a little stronger, shift forward, elbows in, chaturanga. Changing the feet, inhale, upward facing dog, or stay on your thighs, cobra pose. Exhale, rolling it back, downward facing dog. And settling into your breath here, sink through the heels. And as you rise up on your toes, gaze forward. Again, you can step, walk, or maybe bring the feet together, take a little bend, and spring yourself forward. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise. All the way up, palms together, lift the chest, hands float through heart center. One more like this, on your breath. Inhale to rise. Exhale, fold. Halfway lift, hands to shins. And bend your knees, plant your hands. You can step or maybe little hop. Back, shift forward, chaturanga or to the floor. Inhale, upward facing dog or your cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Settle the heels, press the floor away. Nice, smooth belly breathing. Rising up. Gaze forward, step, walk, or maybe a little hop. Top of your mat. Exhale, fold. Inhale to rise. Exhale, hands to heart center. Beautiful. Check in with your feet now at the top of your mat. Big toes can be together, heels slightly apart. If you prefer, you can have your feet hip distance apart, but make sure everything's stacking to support you here. Utkatasana, sweep the arms beside you, sink down, chair pose. Try and reach with the arms, lengthen out of your lower back, send the weight back into your heels, and then exhale, forward fold. Hands to your shins, halfway lift. Bend the knees, plant your hands, step or hop back through your vinyasa. Shifting forward, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. This time, right leg rises, reaching it up. Now we're going to bend this right knee, stack the hips and find scorpion dog. Opening out. Now keep pressing the floor away, extending through the sides of the body. Then inhale, reach your right leg along. And here we're going to take this right knee, as you draw forward like you're coming into high plank, bring your right knee towards your right elbow. Little tap. Inhale, up and back. This time, gaze forward, step your right foot in between your hands. Voila. Stay up on your back toes, inhale to rise. Lifting for your crescent lunge or crescent warrior. Sink into this front knee, press out through your back heel as much as you can. Beautiful. Now we're going to open into warrior two. So you lift up, drop your back heel, open the arms out, sinking down. Turn your gaze over your front right hand, sink into the front knee. Keep pressing this knee away. Holding in the pose, energizing out through your feet, through your legs, and really extending through the fingertips. Then little reach forward, turn your front palm, and we're going to reverse the warrior back. So left hand comes down, sink into your front knee, reach through the right fingertips. Take a nice full breath. Think of this as a side body extension as opposed to any kind of back bend. Then coming forward, right elbow to right knee. Top left arm can extend straight up or maybe alongside the ear. And if you'd like to take your side angle further, bring that hand to the inside, maybe the outside edge of your foot, reach long. Steadying your breath. Keep extending through this top arm, press through your back foot. And then inhale, reach up, warrior two. Straighten your front leg, hands to the hips. Little step in here. So adjust your stance so your back toes are turning in, hips squaring forward, arms reach out. Now like you're being pulled on your right fingertips, reach long, tip forward and find your Trikonasana. So maybe the hand just rests on the inside or the outside edge of your foot. Maybe you can come all the way down, but try and keep some activity and extending up through this top hand. Beautiful, just taking one more full breath here. If it gets too much on your neck, you can always look down at any of these standing postures. And then big inhale, reach up, left hand comes back, right arm reaches, reverse your triangle. Then gaze forward as you windmill the hands down, bend your front knee, lift your back heel, step into your high plank position. Now it's your option, you might take it straight into down dog, or shift forward, chaturanga, support as you need. Inhale, roll through to upward facing dog. Exhale, take it back, downward facing dog. Allow a moment for your breath to settle before we bring this into the left side. Inhale, left leg rises. Bend your left knee, stack the hips. So again, this scorpion dog, draw the heel towards the buttocks, pressing the hands away to reach long. Then reaching that left leg long, draw your knee towards your elbow. Come forward, little hover like you're in high plank. Inhale, up and back. Exhale, this time step your left foot in between the hands. Stay up on your back toes. Inhale to rise. Crescent lunge as you reach. Extend through your fingers, pressing out through your back heel, lift your chest. Then we're going to transition for warrior two. So you rise up so you can drop the back heel, open out, sink into the pose. Making sure as you sink down, this front knee is pressing away, shoulders back. And then finding that energy again through your fingers, through your feet, but a squeezing into the inner legs. And then a little reach forward, turn your front palm, reverse the warrior back, extend. So really make sure this front knee is going to want to collapse in, you're pressing it away, opening out and extend. Then moving into side angle pose. Left elbow to the knee, right arm reaches up. Option to stay here or start to extend that arm alongside the ear. Maybe your hand comes to the inside or the outside edge of the foot. And then slowing down your breath, just noticing here how you can activate the pose a little more. A little moments of quiver. Inhale to rise, warrior two, extend your front leg straight for our triangle, hands into hips, step forward slightly, adjusting your feet, back toes turning in, hips squaring, arms reach out, and then lengthen. And as you lengthen over this front leg, coming down, Trikonasana. Dolphin reaches up, stack the shoulders, extend. And by extending, you're reaching out into all kind of 5 directions, including your head, activating the pose. It can be nice to lift up slightly, even hover this hand so you can press in, feel the obliques and the core engaging a little more. And then inhale, coming up, right hand down, left arm reaches, reverse your triangle. Exhale, windmill the hands, whoop, right in the foot, step back, high plank. So your option, downward facing dog or shift forward, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Now from here, let your knees come down. Big toes together, find child's pose. Reach your arms out long. Drop your forehead down. And taking, let's say 3 breaths here, letting everything settle. And just noticing how your breath feels, how your body feels in this pose. Try and find the weight through the hips, through the lower back as you sink down. Then inhale, lifting up from here. Like you're coming into your tabletop position once again, we're going to bring the forearms down to the floor. Okay, we're going to make a dolphin pose here. So checking in that your elbows are underneath your shoulders. If this is a real struggle for you, a nice way to support is with a strap bound around the arms. Okay, but otherwise press down. Tuck your toes like you're lifting into down dog. and walk yourself forward. You're going to hold here. Let the head drop down to start with, pressing through those elbows you're pressing away, and think about trying to squeeze your elbows together. Then gazing forward as you inhale, start to come forward. It's like a swimming dolphin. So your face is coming over your thumbs, and then exhale, draw it back. Again, inhale, ripple forward. Exhale, drawing it back. Inhale, coming forward. Exhale, all the way back. One more. Inhale, forward. Exhale, back. And now see, you can either bring your knees down or press through your hands, try and push all the way up and find your downward facing dog once again. Little moment pedaling the feet. Now holding here or rising up, ripple forward, high plank, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Once again, drop your knees. Your option, you can cross the ankles, sit back and come into a seat, or maybe just sink your feet out of the way if you need a little more support. Then wriggle yourself forward, slowly making your way, all the way down onto your back, palms beside you, walk your heels in. Okay, rolling your shoulders back, keep your back pressing into the floor, and we're going to come into 2 rounds of back bends here. So starting off with bridge pose with me, pressing your hands and your feet, inhale, lifting your hips up. And if there's a little more space, start to walk your shoulders underneath, interlace your fingers, press your hips a little higher. Ground down through your feet, try and lift your chest towards your chin, and then feel a squeezing into the inner legs here as you press down. And we're going to hold this shape for 3 breaths. Beautiful. And after that exhalation, release your hands, plant them beside you, and slowly rolling back down. As you come to the floor, press your lower back down. Little ease, press your hands down. Take a moment. Now your option is to come into that one more time. You might just like to stay here. Or if it's in your practice already, you want to come further, you're going to make your way into Urdhva Dhanurasana, full wheel. So arms reach overhead, pressing down through your feet. You bend your elbows so your fingers are coming in towards the shoulders, and then on an active inhale, you're trying to press through your legs, lift up. You can lift your hips first, and then extend the arms all the way up. Okay? You might like to rise onto the toes to find a little more height, to press your chest back and through, and try and get those arms extending straight. And just holding here as much as you can, maybe trying to take another 3 full breaths in the pose wherever you are, and then slowly exhale, make your way back down. Once again, releasing the arms beside you, pressing your lower back down. Just noticing how the body feels, and then bringing your knees up and towards the chest, extend your legs. Holding here. Take a moment to let everything drain, and just give your legs a little shake here. It's actually quite nice for the joints. Give them a little shake. You can bring your arms up as well. Give them a little shake. Looks funny. Feels really good. Okay, so let everything kind of settle and drain back down. Beautiful. Then hug those knees back in towards the chest. And just as we started our little practice here, give yourself a nice squeeze. Hug the knees, draw your head in, squeeze everything nice and tight. And then releasing out into your final Shavasana relaxation. Rolling the shoulders back and down. Make sure you adjust. And really think about in Shavasana taking up space. Palms facing up, feet heavy. Start off with an inhale through the nose. Exhale, side out the mouth. And then allow your breath just to be its natural rhythm. Floating in and out, maybe through the mouth. And with each exhalation, releasing the weight of your body into your mat, into the earth. Letting go, releasing, and surrendering to your practice. And then slowly starting to bring movement back into your fingers and your toes. As you're ready, taking a nice full body stretch, taking your knees in and taking as much time as you need there. Thank you so much for practicing with me today, and namaste.